Hey guys, it's Kajol. So we have a problem. The average American saves less than 5% of their disposable income and is $90,000 in debt. So it is no surprise that Americans are not saving the money, and it is no surprise that they are in debt. And guess how much they're saving? Wait for it. The median saving account balance is $5,200, which is appalling. So in today's episode, let's talk about how we can all save more money no matter how much we earn. And these are 5 steps that have helped me save over $50,000 just in the previous year. So let's get started. And the first step is simply by smashing the like button. But okay, seriously, the top 1%, all they do is really simple. And it's so simple, you're gonna be like, Kajol, I know this, you're being stupid. They track their money, they understand how much is coming in, where their money is going, and they create budgets. I think a lot of us feel money shame whenever we look at our savings. We look at it and we're just like, oh my god, why am I not saving as much money as I thought I would be? Why am I spending it on, iced lattes? Kajol. And I felt it. I felt guilty that there's nothing in my account. I've felt shameful, actually, especially when talking to my parents. I've not saved as much money as I should have. And that shame has actually stopped me from checking my savings account. So then we're going to get vicious cycles because I'm going to spend more because I don't know how much I'm spending and I don't want to look at my account. And then basically I'm broke, I'm in debt, I'm in overdrafts, and that's basically what the story was 4 years ago. The only way to change your spending habits is by checking how much you're spending, by confronting it and identifying the weaknesses. And that's exactly why businesses have income statements, profit and loss statements, to understand where they're spending the money, where they should be cutting down, what's looking a little bit higher than it should be. And that's exactly what we should be doing, because that's how they make more money, more profits, and that's exactly how we can accumulate wealth. Look, I don't care how you track, Excel, Mint.com, Yolt, whatever it is, but understand how much money is coming into your account and how much money is leaving your account, and reduce unnecessary spending. And yes, spending your money on vanilla iced lattes is unnecessary. I'm really sorry to say that. I've recently switched to this new personal finance app called Curve, and I'm absolutely loving it. All it is essentially a Netflix for banking. Basically, you have all your cards, all your debit, credit cards, and your loyalty cards as well, all in one app, all in one card, and you don't need to carry your card around. Obviously, you've got your app. And what's great about it is that I can see graphs, I can see analytics on how much I'm spending across all of my cards. I can also understand, where I should be spending less. I'm getting amazing cashback and rewards from my favorite retailers, which I'm spending the most at, and all this stuff. And also there's some unreal exchange rates and loads of other cool features. And if you're interested in trying it for absolutely no cost to you, for free, there is a link in my description box. And I really recommend it because you can understand where you need to cut down. It sounds really, really simple, but this one step has helped me to save up to 20% of my income. Yes, I spent a lot, and already you'll be ahead of 99% of other people who aren't doing it just by doing this one thing. And if there's one thing you take away from this whole video, it's this point, and you can skip the video now. I don't care. Okay, I do, obviously, but please make sure that you are tracking how much is coming in and confront your money shame, just like I had to. Now, a recent survey found out that up to 60% of people in America do not have enough money to cover a $1,000 bill, which is shocking. So the second thing you need to do after you do step 1 is create an emergency fund. And in my emergency fund, I have 12 months of my income saved up. And that's because if, God forbid, Deloitte or whatever firm you're in sacks you, you are on the road, you can still cover your food, your expenses, your accommodation up to a year, and gives you a year comfort to be able to look for another job, to be able to get your life back together, to start that business idea that you always wanted to do. And honestly, it feels like a burden lift off to my shoulders, because that psychologically, I feel that I have some sort of breathing space, and there's not gonna be someone breathing down my neck, and that's going to be obviously the bank or whatever loans and debts that you own. This is a fund you do not touch under extreme circumstances. And when I mean extreme circumstances, I mean you are on the road, you need to get your life back on track, not that you're on a drink rampage with your friends, it's midnight and you're a little bit drunk, and you're like, oh, let me just transfer some money into my emergency fund and just pay my emergency fund. No, you don't want to do this. Do it once, you do it twice, we're going to create a habit. We do not touch the emergency fund unless extreme circumstances. It honestly feels like a burden lift off your shoulders when you have that much money saved up in a separate fund which you can touch. It just feels incredibly good. Now that you hopefully have all this money saved up, you need to turn your head into this high interest debts that you've racked up, like your student loan, like these car financial lease payments. And it's really important because think of it like a boat, right? When you poke holes into your boat and you're gonna keep sinking, and no matter how quickly you take all this water out and there's still water flowing in, you wanna reduce these holes, and the way to plug these holes is to pay off these high interest debts. And there's two strategies to approach this: the snowball method and the avalanche method. The snowball method is really simple. Let's say you have 10 different types of debts you've got racked up. You're going to start with the smallest debt that you have and then pay that off, then pay the next smallest, and then pay the next smallest until you get to the largest. And the avalanche method is slightly different, and that's where you're paying the highest interest first. So there's payments which you're getting 8% interest first, and then the next payment underneath that, let's say that's 6%, and you keep going down to the smallest interest. So there's two different strategies. Honestly, for me, what makes most financial sense is the avalanche method, because you're paying those high, big interest payments first. The issue with this is that you won't really feel that you're paying it off. Whereas with the snowball method, where you're paying the smallest payment first and the next smallest, you will feel like you're getting through things quicker, but you're really not. You're probably paying more like interest on it, because the higher interest payments is what's costing you the most money. But theoretically, because you're getting through some of the debts that you owe a little bit quicker, or reducing the amount of debts you owe, your credit score should improve a little bit quicker using the snowball method. But for me, if you want to actually financially make what's most sense, is the avalanche method. Pay those highest interest debt payments first. I hope that made sense. So people say that when you're 50, you should have around 6 times your salary saved up, and when you're in your late 60s, you should have around 10 times your salary. And you know what the best way to do this is? Get some free cash. And one of the best ways to do this is essentially put your money into a retirement account. Now in the UK, whenever I put, let's say 4%, I put 8% into my retirement account, my employer matches it. So I'm literally getting 2 for 1. I'm getting buy one, get one free. And I think that this is one of the best ways that you can, have money saved up for your retirement, where you're going to need around 20 to 30,000 pounds at a minimum to keep your life sustained. And when you think about that, let's say you retire at 65 and you live till 90, 25 times by 30,000 pounds. That's a lot of money. Some employers are really sneaky, by the way, and they set your initial contribution rate incredibly low. They'll put it to like 1%. So you put 1% in and they'll match you with 1%. Make sure that you double check this, and make sure that, you probably should put more money into it, because the more money you put into it, the more money they have to put into it as well. So a good way to save up, where you're saving up, you can't touch it, and at the same time you're getting free cash. Okay, step number 5, and you may come to this point where you feel like you're saving as much money as you can, and you're getting a little bit of some healthy finances going, and you're like, Kajol, what else can I do? Well, what you're saving from is this pool of cash, and the only way to increase your savings is by increasing this pool of cash, and that's by increasing your income. The way to increase your income, and honestly something which billionaires and millionaires make money from, is by having multiple streams of income. And I'm going to go through into that a little bit later in another video, but I would honestly say it all starts with investing in yourself, in your knowledge, educating yourself, learning a new skill, and selling that skill. Now, ideally, it's a skill that you're passionate about. Ideally, it's a skill which you can also get paid for. And ideally, it's a skill which not a lot of people do. So, for instance, YouTube, I had to learn how to video edit. I had to learn how to talk on camera. I had to learn how to script and all these small things. And even from like filming and photography and, how to use Premiere Pro. And these are skills which I've had to learn myself. No one taught me. I learned that myself, and because of that, I can now make an income from YouTube. And think about learning certain skills to unlock those pathways. So make sure you invest in yourself, and that's probably one of the biggest takeaways from this video, I would honestly say. Now that you've done all of this, you can begin to invest the extra cash that you've done, and you can only do this once you've done all the previous steps, okay? No cheating. And I mentioned about investing in yourself, and that could be upskilling yourself in knowledge around how to invest in stocks, in crypto, in property. But I would say stocks is the easiest way to begin. And if you don't know even where to begin with stocks, I do have a video coming out very soon. But to get prepared, you can move your money into an ISA in the UK and an IRA IRA account in the USA. This is essentially money which is completely tax-free. So if you're earning money from dividends, if you're making money from stocks that you invested in, it is not taxed and you're not paying capital gains tax on it. So it's just basically you're saving money. Obviously, there are other ways to invest, like property, like putting your money into startups and business, but you do need a larger capital to invest in. You need more money to invest in, whereas with stocks, you can start with £1. And I honestly think people have made a lot of money over the pandemic. A lot of it has been luck, I would say. But if you do this right, if you learn the fundamentals and the metrics that go behind businesses, and I'm going to go through all of this in an upcoming series on stock investing. And don't worry if this sounds completely daunting. For a lot of people, this takes a year to a decade to go through all of these steps. So don't feel like, you're behind people. You're really not. Each of us have our own journey. And as long as you start, you will complete it. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And I will see you next week. Bye.